Pokemon Company recently announced a new Pokemon, Poltchageist. There's a few things to digest when it comes to the Pokemon. Is it good? Is it bad? Or is it just pure evil? Let's dive into it. First off, let's talk about the backstory of this Pokemon. I'm going to do my best to show some screenshots of the trailer as we talk about this, because it'll give you a bit more of imagery as we go along with what this Pokemon is all about. Video starts talking about a very strict team master that had nearly become violent when it came to the teachings of the perfect team. One day, the pursuit of perfection became too much for him, causing him to collapse. Notice the air quotes. From that moment forward, the teapot was used and kind of passed around from hand to hand, but over time it was eventually neglected. And because of that neglect, somehow an energy had gathered around the teapot, causing it to come to life, an act not even modern science can explain. But it's probably a good thing that this isn't in the modern era, or so it seems. The energy gathered and formed a Pokemon known as Poltchageist. Now this is where this little devil's personality really starts to shine, and goes on an absolute rampage. Poltchageist stumbles across a woman that seems to be behaving poorly in public, and sprays it with what we can assume is some sort of matcha dust. From there, that matcha dust spraying ultimately causes her skin to glow, and then she loses all of her energy. When she loses all of her energy, her phone ends up inevitably falling out of her hand, landing on the ground, cracking the screen. It's from this moment forward that Poltergeist makes it basically their entire mission to fill every crack in the world along their way. It fills in things like the cracked screen on the cell phone, fills in the cracked headlights, it even fills in the plugins on the wall. With that being said, Poltergeist stumbles upon you and you do one little thing wrong, such as not eating all of your food, not greeting it in a timely manner, and just not being a generally good person. They handle the situation, as you can see by the people that have passed out, as this floating matcha teapot takes on the personality of its own. This is about as dark as any backstory I've seen in one single Pokemon since I can remember, which is basically meaning it's the Joker. The next thing that we have to talk about, typing and ability. They said in the video that Poltchageist is going to be a grass ghost type Pokemon, and that's not an unfamiliar typing, as we have seen it before with the likes of Phantom, Decidueye, Bramblegast, and more, so it's not necessarily groundbreaking in that way. I'm sure the moveset, as we learn more, will be not too much of a surprise. It does seem to have some sort of energy zapping move that was suggested in the lore video, and also there was a little video that was after that, kind of introducing a little bit more where it shows another energy sucking, energy zapping type move when it was going against Poliwag. The rumored ability it will have, rumored, is hospitality. And what hospitality does is believed to restore the ability of the allies' HP when it's sent into a doubles battle. There was more of a vague description that said maybe it heals the HP of the entire team. I think it's more likely it is just the Pokemon that you're with in battle, right? That would be very, very handy for competitive play, especially when it comes to Pokemon. It requires a couple of setup moves. Maybe it's getting low on energy. You might not finish the setup, so you throw out Poltchageist and you get your HP restored. I am sure that there is going to be a second ability, as most Pokemon do have a second ability. It is just not known to us yet. But again, the rumored ability is hospitality. Next, the design of the Pokemon. I just want to say, with a smile like that, this thing's little thought process is just a little bit twisted. As far as I'm concerned, that smile is just one of pure evil. The green tea absolutely resembles the color of green matcha. And one of the distinct things is the crack above the eye, as you can see, is very filled in, and it is part of that lore, as when the tea master passes out and loses his energy, he drops the teapot that Poltergeist inevitably comes in, and the cracks have filled in. He also appears to be holding a stirring spoon of sorts, or a stirring stick, and it seems as though that's what it's basically using to create the magic to fill in the cracks that it comes across along the way. The color contrast of the colors, like it's black, white, and green, I think that looks like is a really great contrast. Very striking, good looking Pokemon, and I think it can lead to an amazing shiny. And I know a lot of people have suggested that the green matcha becomes gold, as in the traditional way to, I guess, the Asian or Japanese culture uh, fixes ceramics with gold, and I think I like that suggestion a lot, and I think that it could lead to a great shiny. Just don't make it a subtle shiny change where the three dots above the eye become just a little gray and make it almost impossible for us to shiny hunt. As by by heart, I am a shiny hunter. Overall, I don't hate the design for the Pokemon with such a backstory. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, though. Um, Maybe that there was some sort of evolution to it that makes it bigger, makes it better. I don't really know what I was looking for when it came to asking for more out of this Pokemon, but it is just something that I felt like something that was missing. It's got a sinister feel. It's got a dark feel to it. Um, you know, Again, I'm gonna say it kind of reminds me of the Joker. It has this weird, happy smile, and maybe my opinion will change once I see it in the game. But overall, I think Poltergeist will be an interesting Pokemon as part of the DLC, and for the most part, I do actually like this Pokemon. But again, my mind can always change one way or the other. I can right now say that I like the Pokemon. Eventually, I can say I love the Pokemon. Eventually, I can say I hate the Pokemon. We don't actually know at this point. It's going to be different, but we're right around the corner for that DLC. We're just a little over 2 weeks away from it. So I'm sure we'll all have our opinions by then. But as of right now, I do want to know what your initial opinion is of Poltergeist. Is it something you're going to be looking forward to right away? Is it something that you're like, great that it comes with the DLC? Or did the announcement of Poltchageist change your mind, change your opinion on the fact that, yeah, I'm getting this DLC right now? Make sure you comment down below to let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well so you don't miss anything Pokemon related. I very much appreciate you all. Thank you.